Alright, so back with another video. I've been a bit MIA, but have been was meaning to post on a video regarding police and mental health and police not knowing how to handle mental health or anything for that matter. But I don't know. I kept procrastinating. So then a few days ago, come to find out that Porter Burks, the 20-year-old kid essentially, was shot and killed during a mental health crisis call that they were answering. Porter Burks apparently had a knife in his hand, but we're talking, I mean, there's no justification either way. It's insane. And those of you who have heard what happened to this poor guy, it's really hard to wrap your mind around how someone could be how all of these officers could be so fucking ignorant and unawakened. We're talking about a knife. You all are grown men armed with guns. This is a 20-year-old with a fucking knife. And not only that, this 20-year-old was, to me, he appeared quite small. Not small, but he wasn't a huge kid. A huge guy. And I say kid because he was a teenager a year previously. That's a kid. We're talking about a kid, and the reason I'm stressing that is because I keep seeing in these headlines, black man is kid, and it's like, no, this is not like a grown man. This is a young man, I suppose, young adult, but yeah, essentially, practically a kid. And so my point in saying that is, why are you responding to a mental health crisis with guns? Especially when this kid has a knife. It's not like he can do anything from as far away as he was. And we'll get into that in just a second too, because part of the problem here is that the police chief, James Craig, or whatever the fuck his name is, tried to justify and claim that, or I don't know if it was him or whoever the freak it was like claiming that the officers, or that Porter Burks was like within 6 feet of them or something. And it's like, no, he wasn't. He was about I don't know how far, but he was far. There was absolutely no reason or rhyme or explanation as to why that, or how that even escalated to that point. So yeah, I have some videos, and then I also want to bring this in relating to another incident that happened with the Oakland County Sheriff's Department about a month ago, or I don't know how long it was. Yeah, probably a month ago. Damn. And it was another mental health concern, according to them. I don't know why they bothered this woman. All she was doing, it's strange, I guess, but all she was doing was she was standing on the side of the road lighting a cloth on fire or something. She wasn't near any housing. She wasn't she was just minding her own business. And yeah, maybe that's strange behavior, but why is that anyone's business? She's not hurting anyone. Like, I don't get it. And if it was a so-called mental health call or crisis call in that situation, we'll get into that. But why did the cops end up on top of this woman? We'll get into all that. So first, I want to start off with, I am not going to show the body cam. It's pretty pointless. The only reason I will show like the beginning part where they say drop the knife or whatever is to show and make it clear to you all that they were very far away from him and there was absolutely no need or reason for them to get to that point, per usual. And yet, here we are, again and again and again. Jesus. Okay. All right, so I'm about to start off with showing you the body cam footage. It doesn't show anything graphic, of course. But yeah, just to give you an idea.
Police released body cam video that sheds new light on a deadly police shooting.
See, they were quite far away. This is the distance they were from him when they shot and killed him. That's really fucking far away. And if you have a knife in your hand, as opposed to a gun or any other weapon, you're not a threat from that far away. And there should be no reason to shoot at you. There is no reason. So I just wanted to pause just so y'all can see. Maybe I'll turn it this way.
On the city's west side. Good evening, everybody. Detroit Police Chief James White opting to go public with that video from Sunday morning when police fired upon a 22-year-old, killing him.
The officers were responding to a call about a man in a mental health crisis with a knife. Mar McDonald is live at Detroit Police Headquarters tonight. And Mar, the chief says the investigation is ongoing, but he wanted the public to see this video.
That's right, Kimberly. He says the investigation is still in its infancy. That said, he says there's misinformation out there. That's why they released the video. Let me show you.
He had a knife on him? Yes, he had a knife.
It's 5 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. DPD has been called to a home because 22-year-old Porter Burks is having a mental health crisis. He's already...
I saw a headline that said he was 20, but they're saying he's 22 here. Either way, same thing. Doesn't really change shit.
Slashed a family member's tires and is on the street walking around with this knife. Family tells police they'd like to see him in the hospital for treatment.
Drop the knife for me, man. Come here real quick. You're okay? You're not in any trouble.
Police see Burks walking the street minutes later. The officer you hear is trained in how to help someone undergoing a mental health crisis.
My name is Sean, man. You're okay. You're not in any trouble, okay? I just want to help you. I just want to help you, man, okay? Can you do me a favor and drop the knife?
Burks doesn't want to drop the knife. The conversation continues with police assuring him.
This is quite far away. Again, this is really, really far away. It did not need to lead to that.
He's not in trouble. He tells police he doesn't want to talk. And it goes south.
Right now, we just need you to drop the knife. Porter!
Okay. They are pretty far away. I don't know, is that a person right near him? Or am I just seeing shit? I can't really tell. Damn. Either way, definitely did not need to lead to all of that shit. Hang on. Alright, so I found a more detailed, lengthy video so that we can see. I don't think that was a man that was up close to him. I legit think all of them were this far away when it happened. So we're about to see.
Where do you want to go? Huh? All right, set that down and we'll do that. All you gotta do is set it down and we'll do that. All right? I promise you, you ain't in no Don't do that. Don't Porter. Don't do that.
Give me a break. He's really far away.
Just drop the knife, Porter, okay? We're here to help you, man. Whatever you want, we'll get you, okay? Don't walk closer.
He's not that close. Give me a break.
Hey, you want some help? Are you sure? Porter. Okay, hey, you listen to me? Can you just set that knife down and we'll talk? I promise. Here, we'll put everything away. We just need you to drop the knife. Can I ask why not? Huh? All right, well, we'll give that back to you. We just need to talk, but I can't talk too close with that knife in your hand. What do you want to do?
He said he doesn't want to talk.
You want to ride home? We'll go take you home. Porter.
He's really far away.
Porter. Someone will want. Take that. No. Someone will retire.
So do we still have an individual? Yes, we do. He has armed with a knife. 14. Porter, we're here to help you, man. Whatever you want, we can help you with. We can get you home. Right now, we just need you to drop the knife.
Okay, I don't know if that's where it happens. Okay, that's where it happens, and I just stopped it before we saw anything, so we can see there isn't anybody close up to him, up close to him. He's pretty far away. There's no reason that he should have shot him. He's really far away, and he easily could have found a way to restrain him, or even like, why do you have to shoot him fatally? I mean, you shouldn't have to shoot him at all, but like, if you're gonna shoot him, why not shoot him in the foot? Or, I mean, I'm just saying there's alternative ways, but nobody should be shot at all. I mean, he has a knife, but he's far away, so he's not really a threat in that way. Not from that distance. So it is bullshit to me. And then I'm going to go back and show you what the police chief did and said to justify this bullshit.
Bringing some clarity to some of the misinformation that I have heard and read. On Sunday, October 2nd, at approximately 5:01 a.m., officers from the obtained a description through conversation with him. One of the officers, in fact, said that he thought he may have seen him near a party store and announced that they were looking for him over the radio. They made it to the area of, put the knife down, they could get him the help that he needed, get him transported either home or because we didn't want.
So he's describing everything we just saw in the video, in the body cam.
What's pronounced dead. Ready. As they were trying to negotiate with Mr. Burks, without warning, Mr. Burks charged at one of our officers with the knife in his hand. The officers, fearing for his safety, and the other officers, fearing for their partner's safety, fired their weapons. Despite this horrific act, the officers were able to quickly transition to a first aid mode and begin to render first aid. The officers then conveyed Mr. Porter Burks to a local hospital where he unfortunately was pronounced dead. This is a tragic situation. Anytime we use force, it's not the desired outcome. Anytime we use fatal force, it's the worst outcome. At this time, I'm going to have the video start, and later in this presentation, I'm going to be bringing up the Director of Professional Standards to talk through our investigatory process, and what happens in an investigation.
What a fucking douchebag. I'm so sorry, but this dude, you can tell, even when he's speaking, that he knows. He's like real nervous because he knows he's not right. He knows this is fucked up and it's wrong what they did, and their actions were wrong. The way that they handled this situation was wrong. Porter Burks was too far for them to use any type of force, let alone fatal force. It's absolute bullshit. So, I don't know if there was another video for Porter Burks, but I do know his family is suing. Yeah, so I mean, obviously, understandably so, people are pissed and outraged. Yeah. Jesus. What a joke. I don't know if there's anything that he said prior to that. James Craig. Let's see.
Made to order dishes starting at $7.
So the other situation that I want to bring to light is an incident that took place a month ago that I meant to make a video on and put off, but saw this as a good opportunity to do so, or unfortunate opportunity to do so, honestly. So, because again, this is another incident where the cops a month ago in Detroit, again, mishandled a mental health crisis call and mistreated and harmed the person who was going through a mental health crisis. So, again, and this is the woman who I described to you that I think she was like lighting something on fire. Oh man, I feel like if the cops just minded their business more often, and with Porter Burks' family, and this is not to blame them at all, it's not their fault at all. I just would say to everyone out there, please don't call the cops if somebody you know is having a mental health crisis. If you know somebody in your family who's a social worker, anyone in the mental health field, therapist, counselor, or a friend, if you know somebody like that, or just somebody that you know is really reasonable and logical and can kind of help talk things down, because calling the police, you have to understand, by nature, they are trained to handle crises and conflict with force. And that's literally the worst and last thing you should ever be doing with somebody having a mental health crisis, even somebody who has a knife in their hand. Because realistically, Porter Burks, I don't believe, was going to do anything with that knife. Because if he wanted to do something with that knife, he would have done it. You know what I mean? He would just do it. He'd be out of control. There was some amount of self-control there. So again, understanding these things is a part of what is vital in ensuring that we save people's lives as opposed to harming and killing them because we're misunderstanding and thinking that they're gonna do something to harm. This was another incident where, again, it was completely mishandled and mistreated, and it was like, I guess she swung at the officers, but again, we're talking about a woman and multiple male officers. Why? Look at his arm in that thumbnail. It's this one right here, the middle one. it looks like he's beating the shit out of her. So we're about to watch this because it's fucked up, it's wrong, they mishandled this shit, and Click on Detroit is ignorant as fuck, and I'm calling you out right now for posting this bullshit of these officers on here that were interviewed justifying their disgusting, wrong, fucked up ass behavior.
A Pontiac family says it's considering legal action against the Oakland County Sheriff's Office because of this very rough arrest that was caught on camera yesterday. The video shows officers repeatedly punching a woman in front of her home. Let's get to Rod Maloney live at the Sheriff's Office where they're offering their version of what happened. Rod.
Oh, before you listen to this douchebag, sorry, but even this fucker has a little bit of gaslight. He slips in a little bit of, I don't know, I'll point it out when it comes up, but I'm just letting you know ahead of time as well.
Well, Devin, we have the whole story here in that, you know, in the internet age, you see a lot of this kind of video, fists flying, angry people recording it on the video camera, but the sheriff's office...
Okay, right there, very manipulative. So he's trying to almost normalize what we're about to see. So it kind of prefaces, if that's the word, what's about to happen so that you're kind of already thinking in your head that, oh, it's not that bad. I'm just going to go back and repeat that so you can hear it. Oh, shit.
Version of what happened, Rod.
Well, Devin, we have the whole story here in that, you know, in the internet age, you see a lot of this kind of video, fists flying, angry people recording it on the video camera, but...
Angry people all recording it on the video. So again, this is like flipping it back on the person recording it, you know, kind of claiming that they're angry, whereas no, they're just filming it because the police officers are the angry ones who are attacking their loved one. So it's like, it's very subtle manipulation. I don't know, it's not, I don't know if it's purposeful. I fucking don't know.
The sheriff's office does have its own video and its own version of what happened.
Like that shit. They're defending the Oakland County Sheriff's Department, basically. He said they have their story and their version. It's like, no, there is only one story and one version, and it's that you fucking attacked a woman who was going through a mental health crisis because she fucking swung at you and missed. Big fucking whoop. As a social worker, we put up with that bullshit all the time, and we are trained on how to physically restrain clients without murdering them. Wow. Or hurting them. What a concept.
He's punching her. There can be no doubt these Oakland County Sheriff's deputies pulled no punches in arresting a 48-year-old Pontiac woman. They hit her many times. Her daughter, Jazzaray Stevens, is furious.
Knee, kick. She's bruised up from her chest on up, face. Her eye is bulging.
And she says she's already consulting with a lawyer.
They're here to protect the citizens. And wrong is wrong, and there's no justifying wrong. If she was wrong, y'all could have, tamed her in a proper manner.
Still, Jazzaray admits her mother has significant mental health issues, and the sheriff's office dashcam video shows us much more about the incident. Officers say the original call came in for a welfare check. Officers found her trying to light a face cloth on fire.
Why are you lighting that on fire?
Now, we're hiding the woman's identity because she's not charged with anything yet, but Under Sheriff Curtis Childs says she...
Pause, red flag. We're hiding her identity because she hasn't been charged with anything yet. Why are you bothering her? I mean, I know the mental health or whatever wellness check, but it's just like, again, I feel like, and I don't feel like, but it is true that citizens, even non-mentally ill citizens, but in particular Black people, I feel like are treated by police as basically just as if they are doing something wrong, is what I'm basically saying. As if they are doing something that's criminal when they're just on their own property, minding their own business, and if you would have just minded yours, but again, somebody called, so back to that, stop calling the police, even for mental health checks or wellness checks. Find somebody else to call to go check on that person, somebody that you trust.
Just exposed herself, and then...
Yeah. Oh, by the way, that chick who's just standing there fucking watching is apparently the social worker. I'm sorry, if I was the social worker on duty, I would have ran up and been like, excuse me, no, this needs to stop. Like, this is not... Why? I don't even get it. She wasn't even doing anything criminal. So, I don't get it. Why are you getting close to her? If she swung at you, why do you have to just back the fuck up? Back up. I don't get it. What is she realistically really gonna do? Like, this shit is asinine.
Swing at the officer. She resisted the arrest, and we did what we had to do to try and get her under control.
Okay, stop it. I'm stopping right there. She resisted arrest. Again, we just heard at the beginning, we heard them say she did not do anything criminal. Okay, resisted arrest, why? Because she then swung at the officers? Okay, but officers, you knew that she was mentally ill when you went on this call. I'm not saying that excuses that, but that should be taken into account. She's probably scared, and especially... So again, this is somebody who's going through a mental health crisis. If they swing at you, I think there should be some leeway and understanding that, like, hey, this is somebody who's going through a mental health crisis. They're probably scared. They might not understand what's going on. Let's not treat them like a criminal. Let's, again, come from a place of compassion and empathy and have understanding that this person might not be as mentally sound as you or I. So it's not the same thing as like some normal average person going to punch a cop. It's somebody who is, again, scared, probably sees these random white men and like is like, what the fuck? I mean, that's understandable. She should not be getting arrested for that. She didn't do anything criminal except for, you know, probably she, again, felt threatened and felt as if she needed to defend herself. And again, what people need to understand is the history of the fear. I mean, that's real for Black people or people of color, that fear of cops and that fight, flight, freeze, fawn shit. I mean, that needs to be understood. I don't know what more to say about that. But it's bullshit that he essentially justified their behavior by saying, well, she resisted arrest, so, you know, we had to do what we had to do. And it's like, no, why did she even get to the point of being arrested? This shit is ridiculous. You probably scared the shit out of her because you tried to arrest her, which escalated the situation. Therefore, you guys are fucking idiots, and whoever the social worker was on duty clearly is a fucking idiot because she didn't know how to de-escalate the situation, which is part of her job. I mean, she should have that skill set. It's pretty basic. Anyway, god damn.
Her under control.
And punching her is part of that?
It's in our policy. Swing at the officer. She resisted the arrest, and we did what we had to do to try and get her under control.
And punching her is part of that?
It's in our policy. If required, the deputies were being bitten multiple times.
Childs produced a number of...
Okay, so they are literally sitting here on this fucking news story, making a whole news story justifying why they punched the shit out of a helpless, mentally ill woman who was minding her own business because she bit them. Which, again, yes, I get it. That's assault. That's, you know, aggressive, but you're not gonna die from a bite, buddy, okay? I used to teach swim lessons, and the kids would bite people. Like, the fuck are you gonna do? Punch him in the face? Like, this shit is ignorant as fuck. It's a bite. So you had to punch the shit out of her? Oh my god, this is just unbelievable. And then the fact that he's justifying it, saying, yeah, it's a part of our policy if, that's...
Pictures of the injuries the deputies received in the altercation.
So it takes whatever force we have to do to gain compliance is what was being done.
No. Oh, this is sick.
And so we've often heard about resource officers or mental health professionals coming along with police trying to sort of diffuse these kinds of situations. And you may have noticed a third woman walking behind the officers in the video that we showed from the sheriff's department. Well, that is what they call a co-responder. And she was actually there for that purpose. The officers allowed this woman the opportunity to talk to the co-responder. She did not want to talk to anybody, and that's how all of this ensued.
Rod, I guess we were seeing what would amount perhaps to resisting arrest, but is she likely to face charges for any of that?
So here's my thing. You go up, she doesn't want to talk to anyone. Are you fucking idiots? Like, fucking idiots or what? Like, she's not doing anything criminal. That's the first thing you said. And if you go up and she doesn't want to talk to you and it's a mental health check, I would think that the next most logical step would be to leave. God, wow. Common sense just really is not so common amongst certain folk. Anyway, that's all I have. This shit's fucked up.